Hello and welcome to another match preview on Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm the host for today's show. Another game in a matter of days as we knocked out Burnley 2-0 on Boxing Day. We now face Newcastle at Anfield to start a new year with a bang. So a lot to discuss. I'll present the team news and predict the lineup for both teams. I'll then reveal my score predictions as well. So let's analyze our opponents, Newcastle, who aren't having the best of times in recent weeks. They've lost 4 out of their 5 games. They've lost to Nottingham Forest, Luton Town, Tottenham and Everton. They've also been knocked out of the Champions League, finishing 3rd in a very tough group and will now partake in the Europa League in the coming months. Newcastle are also currently 8th in the Premier League and 8 points away from 4th spot. Liverpool, on the other hand, undefeated in the last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws, currently top of the league to start the year. So we're heading into the right direction. So let's have a look at the team news so we know who's available to start in this fixture. We'll start with the away team. Newcastle, they have Botman and John Linton available for selection, which is a boost for Eddie Howe. But there's a host of players that aren't available. The likes of Sandro Tonali. Obviously, he's not available due to other reasons and not injury related. Harvey Barnes, Jacob Murphy, Eddie Anderson, and Nick Pope are not available for selection. Liverpool, on the other hand, still have some long-term casualties in Matip, Robertson, Thiago, Bajtic, Tsimikas, and McAllister. But the good news is that Jota has returned to first-team action, so he is ready for selection. So what we'll do now is predict the lineup for both teams. We'll start with the away team, and then I'll move on to Liverpool. So let me share the graphics for the Newcastle team, and we can speak in more detail. So despite so many injuries right now, I think they will be playing a 4-3-3 formation. They have the personnel to still occupy this shape. So for me, no change in the formation. So it's 4-3-3. We'll start with the goalkeeper. It will be Dubravka, as Nick Pope is not available for his fixture. And for me, he's a solid goalkeeper. Experience in the Premier League. Known to be a good shot stopper as well. Not a bad number 2 to have in your team. So Dubravka will start in this fixture. In terms of the back 4, you've got Trippier, who has probably been arguably one of the best right backs in the league this season. Contributed with goals, a key weapon in terms of the set pieces, corners and free kicks, and even his general play. He's definitely like a deep playmaker for this team. So he'll definitely start in this fixture. You've got Dan Burn, who'll play on the left-hand side. Probably more of a natural centre-back, but has been deployed as a left-back quite often in this Newcastle team. Definitely will be man-marking Mo Salah, no doubt about that one. So for me, Salah needs to be on top of his game. Try to be a bit more creative and imaginative in how he gets around Dan Burn. Because if you're going to go for that physical battle, Dan Burn will win. So we need to be smart in terms of how we play around Dan Burn. Maybe have players interchange, but I'll speak about the tactics when we speak about the Liverpool team. In terms of the centre-back pairing, as I mentioned, Botman should be available for this game. So I'm going to go with Botman, and his defensive partner will be Shah. So that's their back 4. Looks like a solid team so far. In terms of their midfield, it will be Bruno Gomes, who plays at the heart of the midfield. Probably playing a bit more deeper than he was last season, but I think that's due to the dynamics of the team. Obviously, no Tonali to play alongside. So if Tonali was there, maybe he would give him the license to roam around or play more of a box-to-box position. Fortunately, he's playing more of a deep playmaker in this team, but still very much influential in how he plays. Alongside him as 2 number 8s, I mentioned Joe Linton is fit for this game. And I know Miley has been playing in this midfield, young player from their ranks, who has been doing a great job. But I feel like because it's against Liverpool, Eddie Howe might go for the big guns to play in this fixture. So Joe Linton will play on the left side of that centre midfield. And I'm going to go Longstaff on the right side. And then up top, you've got Isaac, who has been fantastic. A striker I really like. Great on the ball in terms of dribbling, finishing, fantastic finisher. Great dribbling ability, holds up the ball very well as well. For me, he's a complete striker. So, and he's done really well since he's joined Newcastle. On terms of the wing, it will be Almiron on that right hand side. I remember there was a purple patch last season where he was just scoring goals on a consistent basis. Has done so far this season, but still very much an asset in this team. Can score wonder goals from that right hand side. So definitely one that we will need to mark. So whoever's playing left back in the Liverpool team will need to be on their A game. And then we've got Gordon as well, who has for me improved since earlier this season. There were parts of his games where I feel like he was lacking in product, whether that's shooting or crossing. I feel like he's improved both parts of his game, and young player with huge potential. So definitely living up to that big price tag that Newcastle paid for last season. So that's my predicted lineup for Newcastle. I think it's a strong lineup. You've got a good balance in that team. You've got creativity coming from the defense. So I'm looking at Trippier on that right-hand side. You've got Fabian Schär, who can definitely shoot from distance, but has a great aerial presence in set pieces. Dan Burns' only role will be to stop Mo Salah in this game. So that will be a big task for Salah to make sure he gets around Dan Burn. In terms of midfield, Bruno Gomes will be the deep playmaker, so we need to make sure he doesn't influence the game. Joelinton is a powerhouse with great physique, so he will be bombing down box to box. So we need to make sure we're keeping him at bay and making sure he's not getting at the end of the final moves or shots outside the box, because he's not probably known to be prolific, but he can produce a good moment here and there. And then up top, Isaac, for me, a very, very good striker. So we need to make sure we're marking him correctly. I know Van Dijk doesn't have good memories, as the earlier fixture fouled him and we ended up getting a red card. So make sure that doesn't happen. No deja vu moments there. And then you've got Almiron from the right-hand side, and you've got Gordon on the left, who will be causing havoc on those wings. So I know they're not been in great form recently, 4 defeats in 5. But in terms of the team on paper, still a solid team. So we still have to be in our A game, in my opinion. So what I'll do now is I'll share the graphics for the Liverpool team, and then we can discuss our team in more detail. So in terms of our shape, remains the same, 4-3-3 with a defensive mid, as you can see there, different to Newcastle shape. In goal, goes without saying who will start there, will be Alisson. In terms of our back 4, Joe Gomez at right back due to Tsimikas having a long-term injury after a collarbone, after he broke his collarbone against Arsenal. So yeah, I don't think there's been a time frame given, but I don't expect him to return for at least a couple of months, unfortunately. So Joe Gomez starts at left back. Will he open his goal scoring account? Listen, I'm rooting for him. So I'm hoping this is a game where he breaks that deadlock. In terms of the right back, I'm going to go with Trent, obviously, and we'll speak about his tactical stance once I've done the whole team. In terms of the centre back pairing, obviously Van Dijk, our captain, will start this fixture. Alongside him, I'm going to go with Konate. I know Kwanzaa had a good game against Burnley over the weekend, but for me, that was just more of a squad rotation thing. So I expect Konate to be reinstated into the team. In terms of our midfield, Endo will start as a number 6. I believe this will be his last fixture before he goes to the Asian Cup with Japan. So he will be a huge miss, as he's been such a pivotal player in the last few weeks. And he's definitely getting accustomed to playing that role in the team. So it's just such a shame that in terms of timing that he has to depart to play for Japan. But hopefully we can cope without him. I think like he's done a fantastic job. So yeah, shame in terms of the timing, but it is what it is. That's football for you. In terms of the two number 8s, I'm going to go for Curtis Jones. On the left side, I know Gravenberch played the last game. I think he did all right. It didn't really impress me hugely. I was more impressed with Curtis Jones when he played against West Ham and then Arsenal as well. So I think he deserves to get a start in this game. And alongside him will be Szoboszlai, who still trying to find his best form, but I have full faith in the player. I think he will find it in due time. Up top, Salah on the right-hand side. Never a debate. Let's be brutally honest there. This is the one where everyone will have a different opinion or a different take. So against West Ham, it was Nunes on the left, Gakpo in the centre. And then against Arsenal, it was Diaz and then Gakpo. And then against Burnley, it was Nunes in the centre and Gakpo on the left. So every game we've seemed to change the personnel in terms of where they're playing. For this fixture, I like to play players in their natural position. So I like to see Nunes up top. And I'd prefer Gakpo on the left-hand side. Excuse me. Might be a huge surprise in terms of Gakpo on the left, because I think a lot of fans still prefer to see Luis Diaz on that left-hand side. For me, Diaz hasn't really played to his maximum ability. I feel like he's been off form for quite a while now. And I just prefer to see Gakpo in that left-sided position. It's more natural to him. It's what he made. It's how he made his name in the Dutch league playing for PSV. He's more efficient on that left wing on the ball, as he's not just there to outpace the fullback and stretch the team. He can still do that, but his goal is always to assist the other attackers. So he's more of a team player on that left-hand side. And the assist against Burnley was proof of that. You know, he made a good run, laid it to Nunes in a good position, and Nunes was able to score from outside the box. So for me, I feel like this front three as balance. Nunes, for me, had a good performance against Burnley. So hopefully he can maintain that level of performance and produce some goals in this game as well. So that's my predicted lineup, guys. Let me know what you think. Have I missed out on possibly having Diaz there, or maybe you want to see Elliott in that team, because Elliott had a fantastic game against Burnley on the weekend as well. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys think. In terms of my score prediction, I'm going to go for an away win, which is probably no surprise. I actually think it's going to be a big scoreline due to the fact that Newcastle haven't been in good form in recent weeks. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win for Liverpool, and the goal scorers will be Darwin Núñez, Gakpo, and Szoboszlai. So drop a comment and let me know what you think the score will be in this fixture. And that's a wrap up for today, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The next show will be the match reaction of this game. The match is taking place on the 1st of Jan. But in terms of my match reaction, time and date to be confirmed. So the best thing to do is hit that notification bell. Also follow me on social media. So you can follow me at OzzieFTP on Twitter/X. And you can follow me at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. As always, guys, take care. Stay safe. I wish everyone a happy new year. Enjoy the celebrations. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.